This is PowerPoint Module 1, SAM Textbook Project, Part 1. I have navigated to my Assignments link in Blackboard, and I'm going to click on PowerPoint folder. Of course, you need to read the textbook and do the training. We're going to do PowerPoint Module 1, SAM Textbook Project. Launch it. And you will notice that Mac students can do this project. Even though it's a textbook project, it doesn't keep you from doing it. Now, I'm going to go back, and I need to get the correct name for the start file, and my support files also have to be downloaded. So I'm going to click on Continue, highlight the expected file name without the .pptx, copy it, Control-C, right-click and copy, however you want to copy. Click on the Start File link, navigate to where you want to place that file, and I want to put a new folder in here called PowerPoint. So I'm going to create a new folder for it, and I'm going to open that folder, and because this is PowerPoint Module 1, I'm going to create a folder for it. I'm just going to abbreviate it PPT 1, and since I'm making folders, I'll go ahead and make PPT 2 and PPT 3. Now I want to open up PPT 1, since this is where I want my file to be located, and I'm going to click in the file name part. It should be highlighted. I do a Control-V to paste in the new name, or you can right click and choose paste, and then click on the Save button. Now we also need to get all of our support files, so you just click on it. It's going to go into the right location, so save, click on the next one, and continue. Make sure that you get them all. Now, as I've been downloading these files, the actual PowerPoint file I'm supposed to be working with is not showing up down here, so click on Show All, and then scroll down until you find your file, and click on it, the PowerPoint project. Now, I'm going to move that up a little bit. They tell you to maximize your window, but I've been having some issues with my monitors going blank at the top. So I'm just going to make it as big as I feel I can and not lose my menu bar at the top. Now, we start off every new project will have a single title slide, and you will see that you have a place to type the title and a place to add the subtitle. This is the slide pane, has the contents of the slide on the left hand side, and you can make it skinnier if you'd like so you can see more of your slide pane, is called the Slides tab, but most people call it the thumbnail view. And down at the bottom, even though we don't have it open, you could add notes to your slide. They don't show up in the slide, but you could print them out and have them on the podium with you when you're doing a presentation. And then you can hide that too, so you can see more of your work area. So we're going to type in the title. Once we decide which, I think we choose our theme first this time. So we're going to go to Design on the ribbon, And we're going to choose themes. You can hover. This is the office theme. That's the color palette of colors that are used for that particular one. This is facet. You can kind of go through some of these, but you're going to have to go to the More button, and you're looking for one that's called Parcel. So you're going to click on Parcel. There are several variants that you could use of Parcel. They're just going to stick to the default one, which is kind of a bluish gray background. And now we're going to click where to add title. And we're going to type in Shelley Pet Hospital and Wellness Center. Even though it's showing all caps, I'm going to use my proper capitalization. Use the and sign or ampersand. Now, we're also going to click to add the subtitle. And the subtitle will be Quality Care for Pets and Their Families. They want us to use our zoom control just to practice using it. So down here at the bottom we can zoom, make it bigger, we can make it smaller. I think they have us zoomed to about 90% initially here. Now we want to select Quality Care and Pets, that paragraph, so triple click in that box and it'll select the entire thing. You have your mini toolbar. We want to italicize the text, and we want to change the font size from 20 to 32, and they want you to use the increase font size button and just click on it. I think it's about 3 times because it's going every 4 points. Now once we've done that, they want you to select the word quality. So we just double click on the word quality, and we're going to change that color to green in the standard theme colors. Make sure you get the correct green. Now I do realize that some of you may be red-green colorblind, and now you see gray on gray, but we are going to change the way the theme that we're using to something else in a few moments. So we're going to click away from that. We know it's hard to see, but we're going to save it. So just click on your save button. You don't have to do any renaming like the textbook leads you through, because we got our file and renamed it when we got it from Sam. Now we want to add a new slide, and if you click on the top, if you go to the Home tab on the ribbon, and you click on the top half of the new slide or the slide button, it will give you a title and content slide by default. If you want to verify that that's the one that you wanted, you can see that title and content looks like this. I just hit the escape key to get out of that menu. Now, for our title, we're going to name it. I got to turn the page. Our services. Again, use proper capitalization, even if it shows it as in all caps. Now we're going to click in the box where the placeholder is, and you can see a little gray bullet. As soon as you start typing, that becomes an active bullet. So we're going to type in emergency care. When we hit the enter key, we're going to still be at the same bullet level. And we want to increase the list level so it's indented and a little smaller. So up here in our paragraph group, you will see there is an increased list level. When you do that, it indents that forward underneath emergency care, and we're going to type in X-rays is hyphenated, and laboratory testing. When you hit the enter key, you're still indented, so we want to decrease the list level back to the first level. We're going to type in preventive care. Let me double check. The emergency care may have also been capitalized. Pretty sure it was, yes. So I didn't capitalize the C in care. So I'll just go back up there and fix it. Then I'll click right at the end of preventive care. Now they want us to increase the list level. One way to do that is just to hit your tab key once. That will do the same thing. Once you've hit the enter key, of course, sorry. When you're on the new line, and then hit the tab key. And we're going to type, at this point, routine checkups, and we're going to misspell vaccinations. And we're going to enter. We're on the same level, but we want to increase the list level again. So you can either go up here and click on increase list level so it goes in, or you can hit the tab key to bring it over to the second, or actually third level of bullets. And we're going to type in 1/3 of dogs and cats are overweight. Now we don't hit the enter key there. We don't want to add another blank line in here. We're going to highlight routine checkups by clicking in front of the R, and I've tried to back it up so I don't get the space after checkups and the word and. We want to, while we're here, we want to boldface that text from our mini toolbar. And we want to increase the list level one time. So from 16 to 18. Now, we can click somewhere outside that text to deselect it. We want to highlight the words 1/3, or the phrase, if you will. Don't get the space after. Choose the underline button to underline the words. Now, we want to add slides, we want to change some slide layouts, and we want to change the theme in this next section. So, to add a new slide, this time we're going to go to the arrow for new slide, and we want a comparison. What that does is allow you to have two things side by side that you can compare. Now, for this particular title, we're going to misspell the word obedience. Again, type it in mixed case, even though it's going to show up in all caps. So click to add. Obedience classes. Then we want to click in the left-hand side where it kind of has a heading over the content box. And we're going to add basic and advanced skills. Using proper capitalization, even though it shows up in all caps. And then in the right heading, we're going to click and add small group sizes. Now, while we still have the right heading placeholder selected, triple click inside of that box in order to select the entire content. And we want to go to the font arrow and change this to Cambria. So you're going to have to scroll down till you find the C's and then choose Cambria. Then do the same thing for the basic and advanced skills. You can just paint over it or triple click. Let me just go ahead and triple click. I've got my mini toolbar. I'm going to change it to Cambria. Now we want to add a new slide. If you're not already on home on the ribbon, we're going to pull down the slide gallery. We want to choose title only. Sometimes you just want to have you may have your PowerPoint presentation is set up into 3 sections, and you want to just use a title with the next topic as a title on the slide to remind yourself and to let the audience know that we're segueing into a different topic or part of the presentation. So for this slide title, we're going to type in grooming facilities. Again, doing the capitalization even though it shows it in all caps. Don't press enter. Now we want to change the design. So we're going to go back to design, and we've got all these different themes. You can hover over some of these to see how they would change things. I like to be on the first slide because you see more differences when you're hovering over things. So we're going to click on the pull down list for more, and in this case we want the integral, which is the 4th one on the first row of themes. So we're going to click on that, and they don't have us choose any of these variations. I'm just going to hover over them so you can see what the variations look like. We're just going to stick with this one for now. Notice how it redoes the title and the subheading or subtitle. So and it's changed our font palette too. Now we want to be able to move the slide from one slide to the next. We've got 4 slides here. You could use your little next slide and previous slide buttons over toward the right margin in the lower right corner, and it's like just above the system tray or the status bar, and you could navigate to the next slide that way. But it's really easy just to click on the thumbnail to jump to whichever one it is you want to jump to. So they just demonstrate how that works. Now we want to insert pictures into a slide, and some of these we're going to insert them without a placeholder. On slide 3 we're going to actually use the placeholders. Those were the comparisons. So we want to be on the slide that we want to work with first, which is slide 1. We're going to go to the Insert tab on the ribbon, point at Pictures. Navigate if you need to till you find your support pictures. I'm already there, but you may have to navigate. The first one that we want to put in place is Puppy Love. So I just look at the end of the name to get Puppy Love. So I'm going to click on it and insert. Now I'm not going to worry about where it lands. We're going to fix that in a minute. We're going to click on the next slide. Oh, by the way, if Design Ideas pane pops up for you every time you do this, there is a setting where you can say stop suggesting this till I restart PowerPoint. Or if it still pops up because you didn't select that, then just make sure you close it every time. This is an Office 365 feature that's not a part of Office 2019. Now, in this case, we want to be in slide 2, and we have a picture to insert again. And this time the picture should be the animal group. And again, we're not worried about where it goes. We're just going to put it in there for now. We're going to go down to the 4th one and get it because, again, we're not putting it in a placeholder. So slide 4, we want to go get the ear grooming picture. Now we're going to go back to slide 3, and we're going to use, on the left-hand side, we're going to use the content box and the little icon that says pictures. In this case, the picture that goes in there is the paw shake. Now it's going to fit the size of that placeholder. On the other one, we're going to click on the pictures button again. And in this case, we're going to choose the obedience class picture. Okay, most of those are fairly small breeds, but that golden retriever kind of stands out. Okay, we need to resize our pictures and place them obviously where we want them to be, but first they have us resize proportionately. And in order to do that, you always want to grab one of the corner handles, resizing handles. In this case, we're leaving these alone because they fit just where we wanted them to. But let's go back to slide 1. And let's click on our picture here, and we have Picture Tools Format showing up here. And I want to grab the upper right-hand corner resizing handle and drag it up diagonally toward the upper right corner of the slide until we see a sizing handle or a crosshair that's positioned approximately as shown in the picture. Okay, upper left or right-hand corner. I'm still going. Okay, I got a crosshair and I got a horizontal line. I'm going to keep going just a little bit. See if it's going to bring me anything. Okay, not there. Okay. Now, I'm going to let go of the mouse button at this point. And this is a little bit, maybe a little bigger than it's supposed to be. So while the picture's still selected, I'm going to go change the heights to what they say are the exact heights they're supposed to be. So this should be 5.21, so I'm just going to click in the box and change that to 5.21. And then in the width, it's supposed to be 7.81. And I'm just going to click into the slide itself. And we'll position it later. Go to slide 2. And let's get our little animal group here. We got a corgi, we got a German Shepherd pup, we got a little tabby cat, and a little hamster. So let's change the size of this picture. Again, get a hold of a resizing handle in the corner, drag it up, and then I'm just going to go back to Picture Tools Format, and I'm going to make sure I type in what it's supposed to be. So in this case, it's supposed to be 5.22. I've got 3.2. And the width is supposed to be 8.05. Not too far off. Okay? Just see what it looks like. Then we're going to go to slide 4. And with slide 4, again, we're going to get one of the resizing handles. And we're supposed to make this almost 5.5 inches. So I'm just going to grab it like this, go to Format. I'm almost at 5.5 inches. I just off by 1. It's supposed to be 5.49. And then the width for this picture is 8.22. I mean 8.24, sorry. I was almost there. That doesn't happen very often for me. 8.24. There we go. I'm just going to click in the slide itself. Now, the next little step they have us do is move our pictures in the right location. And there's a little couple of tricks that you can use in placement. There's some guides, style guides, that will help us put our pictures where they're supposed to be. But if we need to just move them very minutely in small increments, we have the ability to use the up and down, left, right arrow keys on the keyboard to move it in those directions just a little bit. Or if you need to be even smaller increments, you could hold down the control key while you are doing the arrow keys, and that will give you even smaller increments to move it, just to get it placed like you want it to be, or in our case, how Sam is going to grade us for it. So the first slide we want to do is here on slide 4, and we're going to grab the picture, 4-way pointing arrow, and they want us to make it down on the edge of the bottom edge of the, so I have a horizontal line at the edge of the slide, and then I'm supposed to move it when I get a vertical line. I got to bring it back down. I let go of the mouse button and that one's in place, so I can click away from that one. Then we're going to go back to slide 2. We're kind of going up. We don't have to touch slide 3. Now I tried to do this earlier and I couldn't get it to work right. It was just not working, and I found out when I was playing around with this the first time, let me just move it out of the way here, that I had made this a 3rd level bullet. I thought I had, but it didn't turn out that way. And so it was way too long, and I kept thinking, well, why is my picture not working? And I had to go back and look at that and go, oh, that was supposed to be a bullet at a 3rd level, and I had it at a 1st level. So when you make mistakes and things don't seem to look like they're supposed to and they're not working right, go back and see something you did prior to the sizing, in this case, of the picture. So now we're going to place this picture where we want it, and we're going to use it so we have a vertical smart guide on the right edge of the slide, little red dash line, and we'll have to either take it up or down depending upon which way we got to go to get the horizontal bar. So you can see how it is going right between preventive care and routine checkups. So I'm going to leave it there, and then we're going to go to slide 1 and we're going to select that picture, and in this case we want to move it so the picture is up and to the left of the vertical smart guide, displaying through the center of the picture, and a horizontal smart guide is displayed along the top of the slide itself. So I'm going to take it up first because I can easily get that dash line across the top, and then I'm going to start moving it to the left some to see if that's the direction I need to go, and if not, I'll take it back to the right some. And there it is. There's my vertical bar coming down through the picture. Nothing like getting puppy kisses, huh? When you let go of the mouse button, then you've placed that. I'm just going to click on the slide somewhere. Save what you've done so far, because that's an awful lot of work there and we don't want to lose it. Okay. Now, they're going to put another picture that we downloaded on slide 2. So we want to go to slide 2, and we want to insert pictures, and we're going to get the paw prints. And initially the paw prints come in vertical. Vertical. Up and down. And we're going to want to rotate those so that they are under, and place them underneath the animal's feet. So the first thing we want to do is do a rotate. And you can do a free rotate with this little handle here. And we want the paw prints to go to the right. You just kind of have to hold your mouth right. Pardon the play on words. Now, we also need to place this so that our vertical bar, if we can get one here, there, right down through the German Shepherd puppy. But we're also cutting off the poor little kitty cat and hamster's feet. So we are going to resize this picture, and we're going to do it without making it proportional. We're going to grab the little middle handle there, sizing handle, and they want us to take it down until we can see the feet. And we have that little vertical bar, horizontal bar. When we let go of it, that should be the proper placement. But let's check the width here. It's supposed to be 4.8 by 1.14. So I'm just off a little bit in terms of sizing the height. So 4.8, I've made it 4.8 by 1.14. I'm just going to click away from that and away from the picture so I can see if it looks like the picture in the book. Now, they want us to drag the left sizing handle outward until the vertical smart guide is displayed between the dog, the corgi, and the text on the left. So we're going to select the picture again of the paw prints and get the middle dot, and we're just going to drag it straight out until we have that vertical bar right there. And we let go of the mouse button, and now we've stretched it. It's not proportional, we stretched it. Save what you've done there. Now, they talk about moving a slide in normal view. We want to take slide 3 and drag it so it's the last slide. So slide 3, you just click on it here, hold the mouse button down, and you just swap them. 4 goes up, and when you let go of the mouse button, 4 becomes the new 3, 3 becomes the new 4. If you wanted to have a duplicate, you could actually duplicate this first slide and head it at the end, and instead of having all the information that you used to introduce the slide, you might have a contact information for the subtitle to kind of end and in your slideshow. Now, I don't know if they do that, but we could do that. Okay, so they want you to save it, and they have you close it, and they have you go back and open it. So we can go through those steps. I think everybody knows how to do that, but we are going to save it, and then we can close it. And then we can, and I'm going to just close that downloads there. I can go back to PowerPoint. And it looks like I closed it all the way. So I can go File, Open, and I can look at my recent, and I can find the file that I was working with, so I can open it up. And it's that easy. Now, this is what we're going to use. This is the point where we're going to stop this slideshow. This is the end of part 1, and we will pick up with part 2, which will pick up with the section called Making Changes to Slide Text Content.